He goes by the name Prag. He's just 17 years old, and there is now a sense that the teenage Indian chess grandmaster R Praggnanandhaa is more than just a genius. He may be the future of international chess, a prodigious talent with seemingly no end to his potential. After defeating the world #1 chess player Magnus Carlsen twice in online events, the 17-year-old Indian defeated the great for the third time in the final round of the FTX Crypto Cup in Miami on Monday. Now that's just stupendous. Joining us now, a household name in India, someone who's personally trained Prag, the one and only Viswanathan Anand. Thanks, Vishy, very much for speaking to us. It's wonderful seeing you again. Now,
thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Prag has defeated Cralsen thrice in rapid chess. For the benefit of those who just don't understand what a stupendous achievement this is, particularly for someone who's just 17, in simple language, in simple terms, what does it mean?
Well, Praggnanandhaa, as you pointed out, has beat the current reigning world champion 3 times, and not in individual games, in mini matches. So multiple games. In Miami, for instance, he beat him in a 4-game match with 2 additional games. So he's not only doing it once, he's doing it several times on the same day. And that shows how strong he is. And by the way, Magnus is one of the strongest players in rapid and blitz as well, the faster forms of the game. And Praggnanandhaa is beating him there. So it's phenomenal. I mean, it's very rare to have someone who starts off by beating the world champion, because normally that is one of the mental blocks that you conquer at the end. And here he's doing it at the beginning.
Vishy, you've trained him. He's obviously a genius. I mean, you are as well. I mean, statistically, both of you would be off the charts. But what is it that's special about him? What is it in his mind that you identify as something which is, makes him a prodigy?
He's a hard worker. But mostly what I like about him, what he really brings to this table is this fearlessness and ability to take on anyone. I mean, he may lose a game, he may lose several, but it doesn't stop him. He comes back. And he's shown that in this tournament which just finished now, against not only Cralsen, but also Aronian, Firouzja, all the world's best players. And this is a pattern which comes up a lot. So it's this fearlessness, this ability to bounce back from defeat, that I think is helping him right now.
Vishy, when people talk about you or Prag of late, they don't often understand how involved you are actually when there's a tournament or prior to a tournament or in preparing for a tournament. How does Prag actually visualize games? How far into a game in his mind can he actually go?
He trains hard. He simply checks what position he wants to get, and he's done a lot of work before that. And I think it's just a question of brushing up and relaxing. The most important thing for a player before a game is actually to calm down, to take a deep breath, and because unexpected things will happen. You cannot plan for everything. But the important thing is to say, I'm going to go there and I'm going to face whatever is thrown at me. I'll deal with it and have that confidence. And if he has beaten Cralsen so many times, in the future, he's not going to go into game with Cralsen thinking, I'm never going to beat him. He's going to bring that confidence to the table. So he seems to work excellently in not over-preparing, but at the same time, getting through what he needs to do.
Vishy, I must ask you, we are talking about, an incredible child, but at the end of the day, still a child, and you've interacted with him. What kind of person is he? I think that's more important than his chess.
He's very fun-loving. He likes to crack jokes, and he likes to play the fool a lot. I think it's his way of dealing with tension. Really? And this is quite nice. RB Ramesh, who's his permanent... who's basically been his coach for many, many years, knows how to get him into the right frame of mind, shows him what he needs to know, and then he's ready to go there and face it. But he's very fun-loving. He's quite playful when he's with his sister or his family. He's very relaxed, and I think that helps him deal with the tension.
He was a grandmaster at 12 and an international master at 10, right? I
Yes.
just find it hard to believe how somebody's mind in this case, in the case of chess, would evolve or develop, how he'd be able to read another player, read a game at that young an age. It just seems incredible.
Yes, it seems hard to imagine, but the thing is, chess is a bit like a language. It lends itself to this kind of intuitive approach, and young people often have that. So, in fact, right now India has a kind of golden generation.
Yes.
Not only do we have Pragg, we have Gukesh, and we have Arjun. All three of them are performing at the very, very top. And then we have several more. So, by the way, he is one of many Indian youngsters who became a grandmaster under the age of 13.
You know, Pragg finished with a bronze and a team bronze at the World Championship. What kind of progress has he made in classical chess?
He's played relatively little classical chess over the last year. So he's just played a few events. And in fact, the opportunities he's got to shine have been in Rapid and Blitz. So these online tour events and so on. And that's where he has really shown. In fact, it's if you look at the official numbers, they won't reflect what he's been doing. Because many of the tournaments he's playing in, like the online tour, are not officially rated. So while they are big events and they get a lot of coverage, and clearly, you know, if he's playing Magnus Carlsen and the other top players, but it will not show always in the rating.
Right.
But I can tell you that he's just very, very strong. He won a lot of crucial matches. And I always have this feeling, in the end, your ranking will catch up with your strength. Focus on your strength, your ranking will catch up. In the case of, let's say, Gukesh or Arjun, who are also in my academy, their ranking has risen quite a lot. But I'm confident that Pragg will make it as well, because you can't play against Magnus on equal terms without being a top player.
Vishy, how do you compare him with you at the age of 17?
I try to share my experiences with him. I try to tell him, you know, I know what he's going through. I've been in the same situation where I get ready for a game, I get ready for an event, I get ready for something big. I go there. And then what happens to you is the thing you can only learn by experience. So I try to share my experience of that. The unexpected things, the feelings you develop when something is close, when something is feels like it's slipping out of your fingers. Those kind of moments are what I try to share with them the most. And, you know, prepare him for these clutch moments, in effect. So we look at his games, identify certain patterns that are maybe wrong, and I might come up with some suggestions. But it's hard to correct these things, because in a way, your style is it's your signature, you know, it's how you do things. So I try to tinker, but mostly, you know, how he plays is how he will play, but he can get stronger at that.
All right, Viswanathan Anand, it's an honor speaking to you, and thank you so much for, you know, sharing your words on this up-and-coming star, and indeed all of the other young up-and-coming stars in India. These are great times for us. Thanks very much for speaking to us.